Governor Andrew Cuomo was in Niagara Falls on Monday to cut a ribbon at the DoubleTree by Hilton on Buffalo Avenue. The governor also reaffirmed his commitment to Western New York and to Niagara Falls in particular.
We've made great progress over these past few years. You'd be hard-pressed to find a government in modern history that has done as much as we have. We have taken on the most aggressive rebuilding of the state in modern history. Over 100 billion. We're rebuilding train stations, roads, bridges, airports all across the state. Why? Because we needed to stay competitive. The construction itself creates jobs, and it lays the foundation for private sector growth. So we've come a long way. Upstate matters. What does that mean? That means that for decades, the state legislature basically ignored upstate New York. Why? Because the state legislature is predominantly from New York City. And upstate was desperate to have someone to help them, and the state government was absent. We flipped that 180 degrees. And I said when I started, the priority for this state is investing in the economy in upstate New York. That's what needs help. And if we're smart, not just moral, ethical, we're one state, we're one community, do the right thing by our brothers and sisters in the same state. If you want to be pragmatic and smart, it's smart to invest in upstate New York, because the more you grow the economy in upstate New York, the better for upstate and the better for downstate. Because at the end of the day, we're one state, we're one set of books, etc. And I said, I will not sign a budget that does not invest in upstate New York. Since then, over the past 5.5 years, $25 billion has been invested in upstate New York, the most money in modern history. And it has worked. It has worked. The economy has turned 180 degrees, because the place that needed the most amount of help was Western New York. The place that had gotten the least and suffered the most was Western New York. And also the capacity to grow and develop and to really turn around was Western New York. And that is exactly what has happened. We invested what we call the Buffalo Billion, actually turned out to be several $1 billion, and it has worked extraordinarily well. 28,000 new jobs in Western New York. When we started, the unemployment rate was 8.9%. Today it is 5%, believe it or not. That's news of all. What warms my heart is that the number of millennials, as they call them now, young people, coming back to Western New York is higher than ever. After all those decades where young people left Western New York because they thought their future was somewhere else, the jobs were somewhere else, they are now coming home. How beautiful is that? The Maid of the Mist we saved, 6 new hotels are coming out of the ground. It really is an exciting time, but what's even better is it's only the beginning. It really is only the beginning. We know what works, we just have to continue to build on it. And I have proposed another $500 million for Western New York for more economic development, and I am proud of it because it's not a gift to Western New York. It is an investment in Western New York that is going to pay dividends. Niagara Falls has that 11-mile stretch, downtown, vacant properties, people sitting on property, valuable property that could actually create income. And I want to see ESD step up to the plate and reclaim some of those properties, get them back on the market, get them developed. We want to see a world-class destination developed on Goat Island. It can be the best, literally, I believe, of international quality. ESD is going to put out an RFP, request for proposals, for a lodge and more recreation activity on this side of the falls, right? The one thing Canada beat us to was they had more recreational activities on their side. We now have the hotels, we need the activities, and between the lodge on Goat Island and a RFP for just that, creative recreational activities on this side of the falls, you're going to see more traffic and more hotel rooms being filled up. And we're also going to invest an additional $1 million in the ecological preservation of the gorge, because that is the asset, right? And you want to protect the asset and keep the asset pure, because that's what's happening. The hard part was getting people to believe that Western New York had a future, that it wasn't just about the old days, it wasn't about what we used to do, it wasn't about the history, that life is about tomorrow and what we can do. In getting Western New York to believe this wasn't just another hollow promise, it wasn't just another plan, it wasn't just another proposal. We're going to do this, that we're actually going to rebuild Western New York, we're going to turn it around, we're going to get jobs coming back, we're going to get businesses coming back, we're going to get the young people coming back. That's all been done. People believe, because the energy and the success is all around us. You can feel it now. You can feel the synergy in the region. Buffalo is doing well, Niagara Falls is doing well, they're feeding off each other. The economic activity compounds itself one to the other. This budget, this plan, just takes it to the next step. This $500 million is going to generate more hotels, more recreation, more jobs, more taxes, more revenue, and continue the growth. We just have to get it done.